set up here.
All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm getting the stream set up here. Just a moment. The good old iPad is connecting. Okay. Trying to get a good view for you guys. This is not it. Let's see. One more chance. It's gotta be this one. What's this one? Why is all this moved around? I'm moving my screens around, guys. Hold on one second. Trying to get this to connect to the iPad. Uno momento. It's all the way up there. All right, let's let's fix this. I don't know how this got messed up. Fixing this live. This is the iPad view up here. We'll get it. All right. Let's shrink the little innovative Impala there. This one we can probably shrink and lift up. Got my screens all messed up today. All right, there we go. I actually like you being able to see the VeeFriends up in there. Bear with me a minute. That's the first scene. Second scene, I'm gonna move this over a little bit. So weird. All right. We're just gonna move this one down here, move this one up here. Put this one on top of that one. I think we're good to go. All right. Go live over on Instagram. Good morning, TikTok. I swear I go away for a day and don't stream, and then I come back and it's all messed up. Okay, cool. VeeFriends TikTok chat. Let's get that up. Good morning, Steve. Ghost CEO. What's up? Make sure I turn off my watch. We'll take a look at today's comic here in a second. Should be dropping around 8:30 or so. Got these two fellas. Cheese Planet. Let me make sure that that's looking good. Morning over on Instagram. Alright, I think this is the one view that we're going to use today. Also, I will be opening up some of these guys live. These are the VeeFriends minis. Let's just open one now and put it on the pencil topper. The pencil topper for today is a patient pig. Bubblegum patient pig. Got that. Yep, smells like bubblegum. Great. Good morning, everyone. Starting my day. Probably starting your day. Starting my day with a little technical issues. These are the VeeFriends minis. If you're new to VeeFriends, check out VeeFriends.com. We'll get more into that later on in the stream. I want to get working here, but VeeFriends. And this is the VeeFriends daily comic strip that I'm drawing. Today's strip, and by the way, this week you can see on the screen there is Innovative Impala Week. Make sure my chats are up. I'll glance at the chats and try to talk it up with you live here as we're going. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Good morning over on Instagram. Appreciate you guys watching. This is the comic strip. This is today's comic strip. So we've got these two fellas. They look familiar. This is Barry G, not Gary B. And they have a store called Cheese Planet, a galaxy of rare cheeses, and their sales are down. They just invested so much in a new website, but their sales are dropping. Our Innovative Impala appears with his idea. The little idea light bulb is actually talking. Hey dudes. Who the heck are you? How did you get past security? And then he's like, I'm Innovative Impala. I'm here to help. Listen to this big idea. And then I made the idea bigger. The light bulb got a little bit bigger there. Let's create a text message service to engage your customers directly. We can set it up in minutes. I forgot to change that line. No. Oh well. I meant to edit that line last night. I forgot. It still works. Alright, a few days later. Wow, look at these sales. That was a brilliant idea. I still want to know how he got past security. And nothing stops innovation. Alright, cool. Morning Soggy Waffles over on YouTube. Sufi over on TikTok. Go CEO, good vibes only. Good morning. That's right. Good vibes only. This is what, Wednesday? I lose track of the days, especially with a holiday week. So today I'm going to pull open something you guys can't see here. I'm going to pull open my mirror board real quick. Actually, I'm just going to do it right on the screen here just so you can see what I'm doing. Should have it up. By the way, if you're on Instagram, make sure you go over and like the comic over on Instagram. We try to get 400 likes on the comic. That kind of gives us a nice, did you like the comic? You know, did you share it? Did you like it? We just use that as a metric over there. So, you know, let us know how we're doing with the comics. So in this comic, I'm looking for these two again, Billy and his mom. And the situation in this comic is there's a headline about AI being banned in classrooms. And let's open up another one of these. I'm going to open up 5 of these today on the stream, so we'll put one up here for later. We got a couple other guys to sit up there. Genuine Giraffe, Driven Dragon. These are so nice, these minis, because like to surround myself with, we got a diamond aspiring alpaca up there. For me, idea wise, you know, to surround myself with some ideas. characters, really. Let's see if we pull a Gary V out of, I believe this is the Series 2 minis. Let's try to grab those. Hopefully you can all hear me. Can you hear me okay over on Instagram and on YouTube? Curious. Output. I'm changing up my speakers are a little messed up because I was remote working yesterday from Pittsburgh. All right, let's open this one up. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. It was a little loud on my end. Double check. Double check. I know TikTok can hear me because you're not. Let's turn it down a little bit. I believe you guys can hear me, so that's good. A lot of people listen with the sound off, so you don't know what I'm saying here, but let's just open this one up. Let's see what's up. All right, we got a Emerald Kiwi, Karma Kiwi there. It's kind of a cool one. We'll set him up there. Great. Okay, I'll open up a couple more of those later. We'll take mini breaks. That's what I'm calling it. For that stuff. But yeah, just chill out and draw some comics with me or chat. If you'd like, I'll look up occasionally, see what's going on. This one today, I'm going to get to some rough pencils here over the super roughs that I have, but I want this to be the same mom. When I can bring back the characters, the human characters, I try to do that. Can I get a just me on here? Let's see. Let me see. Too many screens up. Well, there's no other. Come on. Let's get the. Okay. There we go. I guess that's pretty good. I don't know why this guy's so big. Doesn't matter. I'm DJ Coffman, the artist here, the cartoonist here at the Daily Comic Strip for VeeFriends. I've got my coffee, I'm locking in for the day. 8:45 right now. I don't know what kind of coffee I'm drinking this morning. I think it's Holiday Blend from Presto George. Let's go back to this setup here. Wait. That's not right. It is right, but I don't know why. Alright, my views are all messed up again. Okay, we want boy oh boy. I just want that to be my hands up there, and then we want this to be the iPad. So let's just double click this. No, this should be the iPad up here. Alright. You're learning OBS with me right now. So. There we go. There's the iPad. Zoom. Everything's really... My screens are really messed up today. I don't know why. Bear with me. Technical difficulty. Okay, because I kind of want you to see the whole iPad screen if you can. Alright. Okay. That is correct. We'll get there. I'm going to lock in that iPad view. This camera view, I'm going to lock it into right about there. Pump it up there. This over here. Shrink that down. Lock that in. Let's lock that there so we don't accidentally move that. You guys can't see what I'm doing right now, but trust me, it's amazing. All right, anyways. Don't understand why things got all messed up. Getting there. All right. We'll just go. I gotta get to drawing. At some point you gotta like leave the technical stuff aside and just get to work. Really all I wanted to do was be able to say hello. And then switch back to this. And that's the view I wanted from the first place. Okay. Well, holy cow. Alright. I just gotta lock this because if I hit the thing, it snaps to one side or the left. I'm sorry. Alright, I gotta lock that in. Alright, I am not touching it. We're not touching it again. Let's not do that. Let's leave it alone now. Now we'll get into some drawing. For realsies. Go back, pick my red. So yeah, this week's all about innovation. Or just the topic of innovation, I guess. How do you be a innovator? So, like I do all the time when I'm drawing the comics of the week, we have Innovative Impala this week. So I'm always kind of thinking about, well, here I am drawing on an iPad. That's, if I could go back to like 8-year-old me and say like, this would be magical one day. It's pretty incredible to think about. Look at these headlines. So in this case, we're going to split this panel, and this is going to be an iPad up here. like watching like a news site or something like that. And I'm going to split this panel right like that. I'm going to split the panel into 2 panels, kind of. And then in order to do that, I'll also need to erase this panel border. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the border directly in here, just so we can separate that. Kind of needed like a zoom in effect here, so we'll just ink this before I get to anything else. It's kind of showing you what's on her device. Really, that's kind of the fun part about cartooning and comics is, you know, taking an idea and boiling it down into just the core visuals to get the message across. Sometimes we get a little too wordy, but make sure I'm live on all these channels here. Okay, great. It seems to be working pretty good. All right. So mom is happy that the school has banned AI in classrooms. I don't really know my thoughts on that. My kids are out of school. My stepkids are still in school, but I guess as an adult, I'm like, AI is pretty cool as like an assistant for sure, but you still need to know those fundamental things about life and grammar, communication. You know, maybe not so much the intricate details of math. I mean, I need to understand math as a cartoonist for measurements and for, you know, understanding pixels, pixel size, DPI, all that stuff. But, you know, I was never really, I hated math class. I did not like math class. I don't even know how I passed math class. I had a cool math teacher, that's why. So I'm, you know, my personal opinion is I'm super cool if like the computers just go ahead and figure out the numbers for us. Give me a calculation and do the quick math. You can't really get that wrong too much. It's like a calculator, you know. It's kind of hard to get that wrong. But when it comes to even writing, like, you know, we put some of the, even for these strips, we use AI to spell check it, that kind of stuff. Give us some like rough concepts. Like, give us some rough ideas. Like, what do you like? And they're not always great, but sometimes they're really good. It's always just a little bit off. The writing with AI, you got to give it more of a. It's just not quite there yet, you know. If you're a creative and you're a writer, you know what I mean. When you sit down and read it, you know, maybe to the layman out there, you might not know or notice, but if you're a creative, you know that there's like no soul behind it, maybe yet. I say yet because it's getting pretty good at figuring things out. We're talking about AI here, by the way. I feel like I have a. Oh, I do. Okay. I had one of these on the floor. These gummies or these minis. Today I have Patient Pig on the pencil topper. If you're new to VeeFriends, let's check out the VeeFriends.com. Speaking of Patient Pig, Meet Me in the Middle is the new children's book coming out from Gary. You can pre-order it here on the website. We've got trading cards. We've got the minis that I'll be breaking here in a little bit. And I draw the daily comic strip here, so we have all of the comics up in the comic corner you can check out, and all the characters. There's over 280 characters with different traits. Meticulous Magpie, Methodical Mammoth. It's all alphabetical order, so you can get in there and kind of learn a little bit more about the characters. If we select one like Moral Monkey here, there's also a comic corner that shows the comics that they're tagged in, if I've tagged them properly. And yeah, it's really fun. VeeFriends is fun. Kind of making, how do we say behind the scenes? Kind of making soft skills cool, you know? I need Billy here to be eating breakfast. I think I'm just going to go with a classic bowl of cereal. But we'll make it like a ridiculous giant bowl of cereal. If you know, you know. It's like a giant bowl of cereal. Today in Space Pod over on Instagram said, I think AI is limited just like us, but we'll definitely get better and better with time. I experiment with it and I see that it's gotten way better. It's good for some things and not so great for other things. For sure. Alright, big bowl of cereal here. Let's have it kind of overflowing. Draw Billy's head here. He's got kind of a weird rectangular square head. Not a pointy nose, more like a bubbly nose. So the headline on this iPad is School Bans AI Classrooms. I'll need a little bit of making it look like a news site that she's reading. So maybe like a sidebar over here with some ads in it. I don't want to go too crazy. You know, we'll call it VNN. The VeeFriends News Network. I'm debating that. I have another idea for that. Like Bad News Network. BNN. Alright, let's change it. Because we've had the strips before where the characters are like getting all upset about the news. So maybe the Bad News Network is I think the VeeFriends News Network would only be like good news only or something. Appreciate you watching. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. This is my job, so you're peeking in a little bit behind the scenes here. I'm gonna shrink down our innovative Impala is kind of in the way. It's kind of in the way. Innovation, it's always in the way. Maybe we could even move this. Well, here I am moving this stuff around again. I just can't get, I can't get satisfied with the view. It's a different part of your brain that has to work for that. Setting up like tech stuff and like doing app Photoshop editing. It's still creative, but it's not as creative. It's a different like problem solving piece of your brain. And it feels like whenever I disconnect my computer and go remote or go on the road, and then come back and plug it back in again, it doesn't really remember some of the settings for OBS. I don't understand why. It's definitely the same. He's not really concerned. He's just going to be eating his cereal. Smiling there, he's kind of like looking like dope. She's holding the iPad in the other hand and kind of pointing to it. She'll be holding it, that thumb, and gesturing like, wow, I never realized how long it takes you to like, they don't even look at that like hand position on the iPad. Your brain just sees it really fast, but if it was off, like, the anatomy's not perfect and things, it's a cartoon, but if there was something off about it, you would know. Your brain would just know. Hey Benjamin, thanks for following over on TikTok. Appreciate that. If you're new to VeeFriends, let me know in the chat. Talk about that. If you're not new to VeeFriends, but you're new to the stream or just want to share what characters you're vibing with lately, I'm always interested in hearing that. The team's always interested in hearing what your favorite VeeFriends are and why. It could be a trait. It could be one of the traits. You might be a fan of like being humble or patient, like patient big here. Or driven, like driven dragon. We got driven dragon. Right there, little guy. Driven dragon. My wife and I were talking about, we might have some Driven Dragon comics coming up. We were talking about being driven. And how, like, if you're driven, you need to, well, we'll probably talk about it more next week. I shouldn't talk about it too much right now. But anyways, she says I'm really driven. I guess it's true. But driven people usually only surround themselves with other driven people. You can't really be driven and be surrounded by like skeptical, cynical people. It'll drag you down. Alright, so same headline will be there. Just copy and paste that in. And she's maybe clicking on something on the screen. Cool. Breaking news to stir you up. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about the news. This might not be the final line in here. I'm just putting it in for my own self. Turn on a news channel and it's like every 5 minutes, breaking news. This is breaking. I'm like, this is breaking news? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of bad news out there right now. But there's always been bad news. Bad news is nothing new. You gotta just try to focus on the good news or solutions to problems. So for a lot of people, hey, I even know some people that kind of lost their jobs because of AI. You know, the companies didn't necessarily say it, but they definitely, their jobs as like copywriters, or you know, there was like just a redundancy in need. So AI is definitely changing things, replacing a lot of jobs. I'm not worried about it for what I do, because what I do is more than just draw things. I know you can just go up and give it a prompt and, you know, away you go. But I kind of see myself more of as a storyteller or a human. The human element of storytelling, being here with you, even showing up. We did a drawing club last night, last Tuesday of every month. I kind of just get together with the strangers, really. Like, there's a lot of strangers, some people that I know, but it's mostly strangers that show up there. But we all have drawing in common. There's a lot of anxiousness about AI, for sure. Kind of peeking and like going like, oh. I don't even know if I really like that. Look at the balloon. It's kind of cut off a little bit. Alright, I'll figure that out later. We'll figure that out later. Gotta keep the pencil moving here. And then, just for sake of composition. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste them. I'll change the setup a little bit. I want some things to be in the same position, but his spoon is no longer there. And I know that he's asking the llama something, so... Or not llama. Impala. Hand right there. Usually when I'm in the inking stage, probably about, half an hour from now or something, I can really talk a lot more too, so. Good morning, dog mama, what's up? Morning Instagram. Make sure you go over and like today's comic. Over there, I'm gonna move something real quick. Gonna move this guy. Can probably just move this too. Get it down out of the way just a little bit. Cool. Alright, pretty comfortable. I don't need them anymore. Let's get back to full on drawing here. This, I'm gonna take the iPad out of her hand, and her coffee cup is removed, and now she's getting a fill up from the Impala. Yeah, I guess I have to wear different hats with this subject about, we're talking about schools banning AI in classrooms. And I think it'd probably be better off to like show the kids how AI works and have it be a teaching moment. That's what I would prefer as a parent. Showing them how it works and like not the dangers of it, but like here's how we can double check it or test it, you know, observe it, keep an eye on it, train it better. Like, can we put it all into one problem to solve? That's kind of interesting to me. All of this is really unnecessary what I'm doing. It's not, I wouldn't say it's unnecessary, but like, I like if we're just gonna have, you know, kind of a talky comic strip. Daily comic strips can get kind of just like one character talking, the next character talking. We're trying to get a little bit more messages out through the comics, or get people thinking a little bit about a topic or conversating around something. And but when there's characters talking, one of the rules that I try to follow is that we try to make it interesting. looking. Oh, I was really slouching there. Really slouching. Gotta not do that. Gotta watch my posture. I don't want to be one of those old guys that are just hunched over, you know. How does the Impala hold things with just hooves? Well, you have to be a very skilled Impala. He's lived his whole life with hooves, so I'm sure that you know, double check that. Okay, good. Good morning, everybody. There's like 400 people watching right now across the channels. If you're new to VeeFriends, welcome. Let's go ahead and the minis team has sent me, dropping them all over the place. No, I think that's good luck. The VeeFriends minis, cracking these open, few per stream, maybe like 5 per stream, something like that. Did I just I bumped my cord and my screen away. Let me fix this real quick. Try to do something cool, and then there we go. If I bump that cord, it's so sensitive. Technology. Anyways, let's open up this VeeFriend mini here. You can go to VeeFriends.com. Let's just open it up. VeeFriends.com minis. They've given me a bunch of these to open up on the stream. I like them. I've just naturally gravitated towards them because they fit on the pencil. They're really good for artists. We just had them at the drawing club last night, and it was really fun to watch people opening them. There's definitely something about, you know, nostalgia of getting these open. A little tricky to open. There's a little zipper thing here, and you just gotta kind of get it and open it up. Come on, man. I'll get it, guys. We're gonna get it. It's gonna be a good one this time. Well, they're all good ones, but you know. Alright, what do we got? We got a Bad Intentions bubblegum. Bad Intentions is a rabbit, but we don't call him Bad Intentions Bunny. It's just Bad Intentions. This is a bubblegum. Definitely smells like bubblegum. That's great. We're just going to send him up there. Alright. Cool. So yeah, check out the VeeFriends minis. You can see there's a lot that are bubblegum. Rare ones are the detailed ones and the diamond ones. Really super rare, the diamond ones. They glow and glitter. We got series 1 and series 2 out. Season 1 and season 2 out right now. And you know what? I don't have a Boss Bobcat. I'm gonna get one of those. Never found one of them yet. But yeah, it's very addicting to do. So I take a little break. When I take my little mini breaks, have some coffee, I'll crack one of those open. It's always fun. You know, the Adam and Connor and the crew, they have such a fun time opening all the trading card breaks. I was like, well, I could probably do some mini breaks. And maybe I'll send them out. Got a couple people I owe. Sending the minis out too. Another cool thing I'll talk about here in a minute, maybe I'll show it, was a Kansas City Collecticon. Let's just I'm just gonna do that right now. Show that. What's up with that? Don't really have the Kansas City Collecticon. Let's go. So Kansas City Collecticon, VeeFriends is going to be there on June 22nd through the 23rd. I will be there. Chuck Norris is going to be there as well. And Darth Maul, I've met Ray Park before. He's a great guy. All these different guests here. I don't know if we can scan through. No? Special guests. Let me just click that. Scroll down a little bit. There's a lot of, like, you know, Power Rangers and cool pop culture guests. That dude from Pawn Stars is there. And then there's me. And I'll be there doing oh, they've changed it again. Let me just scroll down through. Okay, cool. There's something I do called Scribble Challenge Live. I'll also do a little presentation from the stage about comics, making comics, try to take you through a whole process of drawing a comic. So anyways, if you're in Kansas City or nearby, come out, check us out at Collecticon, June 22nd and 23rd. There I am. There's Humble Hedgehog, a bunch of other minis back there. We'll be live doing that. This June 22nd and 23rd. I'm just kind of looking through this site now. If there's Kansas City. Just looking to see if there was nope. There we go. Celebrity schedule, all special guests, panel schedule. I don't know if they have this updated yet. They don't have the panel schedule updated yet. Let's go back to that. But yeah, there I am. Please stop by, say hello. I'll try to pack some surprises to give away. Right. Dog Mama said he has some double-sided tape on the hooves. That's right. It's the secret weapon is the tape. All right. Hey, over on Instagram, thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Appreciate you really following on Instagram and liking the strip, sharing the strip, commenting. Harley Hungry asks, why do I trace with red? Get there in a second. Let's go. I'm just gonna check the. So yeah, I pencil what we're calling right now, because like that loose drawing there is just for my placement of where the head will be. And now I'm doing rough pencils. So these are real, like in this mode, I would use blue lead. Sometimes I will use a gray lead, but traditionally in comic books, where I kind of come from, comics and comic strips, you would draw in blue lead or red lead to distinguish between the black that I'm about to put down and the pencil lines. And it allows me to kind of like mold it like clay. So if I don't like that mouth, I can just go in there and just like hit it. You can do that with any color really, but in this stage, this is what I'm doing, is what I mean. So he's gonna be like, yeah. Herm, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to be like Herm. That's a sound effect we haven't used. And yeah, I can kind of in this stage, you know, we call it rough pencils, and I'm probably going to go ahead and, you know, get right to inking here in a minute. And you'll see, like, I fade this out and then I ink over it like a tighter version. Now, there's also, if this was something like, for someone else to ink and color, but since I'm doing it all, I don't really do it. You might actually take this layer and put another layer on top of it, and then do another layer of tight pencils just to tighten up the lines. And make it nice and smooth. And I'm going to do that in the inking stage though, so I'm not really too worried about that. Really, this is all about like placement. He's kind of looking at the kid. See, he won't have like dark under his eyes, you know. But I can draw like a little like Or if it starts to look a little weird, I can mold it a little bit more. I think maybe this nose needs to come down a little bit further. Like that. Instead of redrawing it, sometimes I can just grab it and move it. That looks like too much of a human mouth. So I'm going to go ahead and just change that up a little bit. This is innovative Impala, by the way. So yeah, I guess the long answer to that, short answer to that long, why I draw in red, would be it's just a preference. I think you'll see it with a lot of animators and artists, though. Blue lead or red lead. Also, it just kind of looks cool. Kind of train my brain to see what's gonna go down as the inks here in a minute. Let's just get through it all. Let's get through the roughs. So, and this one I'm just going right to his eye. He's looking like pretty shocked. So do that. Morning, Lady Scarlet over on TikTok. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys watching. 436 watching right now. It's pretty quiet over in the other chats from like X and YouTube and whatnot. Usually most of the people that are watching us are on X. If you're new to VeeFriends, let me know. I'm always curious. There's over 280 characters with different skills, traits, soft skills. You know, part of VeeFriends is we're trying to like, you know, make the world a better place through some of these topics and talking about them. And I always say that, you know, as the artist on this strip, and I've talked to Gary. By the way, Gary, I didn't mention Gary's name yet today, but VeeFriends was created by Gary Vaynerchuk. You might know him as Gary V. He's got a new book out. I got it right here, actually. Gary is the author of Day Trading Attention. This is our big boss. Cool boss. He created VeeFriends to do what I'm talking about. As far as like making the world a better place, but also happier. Making people happier, you know, in their lives. So maybe you haven't found that thing yet that you're looking for, or maybe you're in something and you need a little push, little drive. The VeeFriends community is really solid community, positive people. South African election day today. All of VeeFriends. I don't know much about the politics in South Africa. I only know that I've had some friends in South Africa. It's beautiful there. And good beaches, but I guess there's some sharks. This has been BNN. Bad News Network. There's really great beaches there, but they're full of sharks. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out which layer it is. Alright, cool. So in this comic, just to reset it, this mom has an iPad. The headline that she's reading is "School Bans AI in Classrooms." She's kind of happy. Uh-oh. What did I do? I almost did it. I almost lost all those pencils. Oh, man. Why? Why, though? I just merged it. And then it said, nope. That's happened before. I gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. Alright, cool. Now he's kind of holding the iPad here. Anyways, the mom's kind of not happy about it, but agreeing with banning. Every once in a while, there's some fuzz. And then Paula's kind of breaking it down for her. The little kid's like, Paula, what do you think? And he tells him. Right. There's a lot of text in this one on these two panels here. Bad intentions, bad news. Morning. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, TikTok. 9:30, going about an hour. Had some technical difficulties with my OBS again this morning. OBS is the program that I'm using for streaming. That looks weird. Alright. Yeah. I'm just gonna have him reaching it here. Kinda want mom's face here. She's like, I never thought about that. It's kind of the, when I'm drawing expressions, I might talk out loud about what she's saying, or maybe she's not saying anything at all, but I'm just trying to capture like a thoughtful, like, oh. Like an oh look on her face, like, oh, I never really thought about it that way. So I try to capture that with just a little bit of a expression. Someone asked how long I've been drawing. Long time. So drawing my whole life, drawing professionally, probably since about 1998. I just say professionally, like getting paid to draw. 1998, something like that was my first real paying gigs. You know, books, comic books, different writers, and so I lick her nose now. Let's fix that. And I draw in different styles, but I prefer cartooning. I prefer this type of comic strip. Daily comic strips are my jam. Cool. We're gonna go ahead and start inking this up. Let's do that. I'll turn the text on here for you guys. One thing we do is I put the text up on the other layer, because if you're on Instagram and you're oh, that was right. So I did it right. You'll see that like when we do the carousels, we make the balloons appear. Oh, try to go fast here. we make the balloons appear with different swipes, just so it breaks it up a little bit. So this is what we're going to ink up. I also have that gray layer underneath. I can get rid of that right now. It's just basically for contrast, or there's really no rhyme or reason to it. I can turn off some of these layers and kind of just get to just the pencils, fade that out. And now I'm going to switch to inking mode. And for that I have a nice smooth inking brush. And make sure I'm on the right layer. Also, I'm okay with merging these two, and then this is basically my ink layer with the panels and everything. All right, that's cool. We'll start at the top. When we're zoomed in, we can kind of see a thumbnail. Those little like power buttons on the side of the tablets, or like arrow or screen off buttons or volume buttons. Yeah, my thoughts on AI, I guess I could talk a little bit more now that I'm inking. As an artist, I know that it's very controversial. Personally, I don't like the training of it behind the scenes, and there's no real way to like police it. I know what it's doing, and I do understand how it works. And I know that it's been trained to look at millions of images and understand what it's looking at, and then pull from those images and recreate something a little bit new. So in essence, people will say it's stealing. Well, I guess there's a big debate amongst my art friends, and I hate it because it's really tearing some friendships apart. You know, I've seen my art friends say like, if you're even talking about AI, I'm gonna unfriend you, and I'm like, man, that sucks. Like, don't be that way. Let's talk about it, because it's the future. You know, it's the future, like right now. Is happening around you, and you can't just shut yourself off from it. You need to understand how it works, and then if there are some guidelines and things that we need to put in place, then you guys need to organize and through probably political means get some like limitations on AI. And that probably goes for writers and musicians and creators of all kinds. But arguing about it and just unfriending a person because they're even linking to an AI article or something is probably not the most beneficial way to make any kind of meaningful change, or innovate with the AI topic. A lot of companies jumped on the AI bandwagon very early to say like, oh, this can replace graphic designers and all kinds of stuff. But now you're seeing a lot of really bad design. It doesn't really understand nuances of good graphic design. So there's still this, but however, it's a nice tool for a graphic designer to have. For instance, if you want like a nice textured background, it's very easy to like pull that up. All these programs now are having this in it for graphic designers to kind of add them as tools, not to replace them, but just to make your work faster, really. And then you can tweak it. Same thing for writers. It's here to kind of make your life easier. not to replace you completely. Although, like I said, there are definitely businesses that are replacing people quickly. Probably jumping the gun. AI is also really controversial. AI is controversial for photography and editing, Dog Mama said. Um, but I guess I try to play devil's advocate a little bit. So I've got some pretty extreme artist friends, and I'm in the middle. You know, I'm like, I'm interested in learning all the time about new things. And I do know that there need to be some guidelines and restrictions and probably some rules around things. But the same people that give me the argument about, like, you can't, it's scraping from different things and looking at different things, and like basically it's life drawing. So you're doing the same thing as an artist, though. So the same artists that are making this argument about it's stealing from a photographer, it's taking from another artist. Like, you literally, all artists have books on their shelves behind them that are full of artwork and stuff that you're using for inspiration to look off of and even like copy out of, really. So it's not doing anything differently, it's just doing it on a scale that humans cannot. It's able to read 1,000 books all at once and move faster than you. That's it. So it's not really doing. So when you say like you're stealing from some other person, artists have been stealing. If you're calling it stealing, artists have been stealing their entire careers. So the real problem is that they're losing money because companies are like, well, we don't need the artists anymore. We can just whip this up in AI or Canva, and but your results may vary. So we say all the time that, like, you're gonna have to be. It's a tool. You're gonna have to be the one that trains the tool, and the best quality is always gonna come out from something that's been a little more fine-tuned by the human hand. And here I am sitting with you. AI can never do what I'm doing right now. I can't hang out with you. And to some degree, there are chatbots and things like that. But, like, literally, I can answer any of your questions right now. And even ship you something if I wanted to have a more personable relationship. What app am I using to draw in the comics? I'm using Procreate on an iPad Pro. Hello, boss, over on Instagram. Good morning. Sorry if I'm late getting to these questions. I'm just kind of scrolling back through here real quick. Appreciate you popping in, especially over on TikTok. It's kind of a, you get the one view on TikTok. The other views, you get the iPad screen in my hands and some of these minis. Speaking of, it's time to let's break one of these guys up. All right, let's go deep. Grab this one out. I won't say that I haven't picked a good one out today, but they're all good. But let's open this one up. VeeFriends.com if you want to see where you can get these in your area. It's really fun for kids, but it's also fun for adults to open up, I gotta tell you. Alright, what do I got here? I got a bubblegum gratitude gorilla. I always smell it. It definitely smells like bubblegum. I've never had a bubblegum one that didn't smell like bubblegum. We're just gonna keep setting them up there. Can you see that view? Okay, yeah. That's perfect. They just start to, like, multiply across the top of the screen there. I was giving some away last night at the. I was having artists pick them at the drawing club meetup. People were like, "What is this?" And then I could just. It's really fun to see the faces of people like have a little bit of joy. It's a surprise. It's a little bit of joy when they're opening it up. Anticipation of like what they're gonna get. You know, there's definitely a nostalgic feeling to that. Yeah, AI is definitely controversial, but don't think it's going anywhere. Like I said, we're using, you know, I use AI. I'll dump the comics into it at the end and say like, read this. Make sure I didn't make any spelling mistakes, because it does a pretty good job of copy editing or making suggestions. So I'd love it to replace editors. Sorry, editors. I'm kidding, but not kidding. Also, taste is subjective too, so it might, you know, someone might generate something that they think is good, and then other people won't like it. Comic ideas or the writing style, you know, of one person is not the same. The vibe is just off. Overall, for me, that's how I think of AI right now. I'm like, something's just a little off about it. It's not quite there. And even I don't know if it's gonna be quite there. They say it gets better. It's getting better, but it's also like still not quite there. It'll still never be, you know. Hey, Zen 10 Lotus Tarot over on YouTube said that they really thanks for liking the art, but also they watch how I draw and add little details that really bring each panel to life, because I draw stick figure doodles. Well, that's how it all starts, really, is scribbles, you know, stick figures. It definitely takes a while to get to the level of drawing that I'm at, and even then I'm just not, you know, I'm good, but I still want to be better. So every day is a chance to kind of learn something new, or try to apply something, or train myself a little bit more. I'm always trying to improve my skills. It sounds probably really lame to someone else, but it's exciting to me to go, okay, you know, I'm on this tool. I actually need to be on that setting over here, a little bit smaller setting. Smaller setting for this brush. That brush. And it's exciting to me to go be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get a nice, like the perfect smooth line, you know. Like that's not good. That doesn't feel good. Being able to like hit that, it's very almost relaxing and kind of meditative a little bit when you're doing it as an artist there. Like, you know when your lines are good, when your lines are bad. Just kind of feel it. sometimes you gotta let it go, because like we're doing a daily comic strip here. Sometimes I gotta stop noodling around and just get to it, ship it, as we say. Sometimes you just gotta ship it and go. I know so many artists and creators that are like waiting for this right moment to publish something or start something, and man, there's just no right moment. You just gotta go. You gotta launch it, figure it out later. I know people that have launched full-on businesses that way, where they didn't even have they had a loose plan, some goals, and they didn't sit around and worry about it. They just were like, okay, let's push go, and then figure things out as they go. Fly by the seat of their pants, pretty much. But it worked, kind of gives you the motivation to like check in on your product every day and review things weekly, daily. AI is definitely controversial. Morning Wide Awake Life over on Instagram. She's thankful for this evolving community. It's about to get crazy. We're going to have a lot more eyes on VeeFriends very soon, when you think about it. Gary's just one thing, but I go to, I'm in different circles of my life, even last night, trying to explain what I do and who I work for, and people don't know who Gary is in the day-to-day world, really, I guess you could say. I'm like, Gary V, and they're like, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're an entrepreneur, you definitely know Gary V. Where you're out there hustling in any way or doing marketing. But my artist friends have no idea who Gary V is. So it's a little bit like, I'm drawing VeeFriends for Gary V, and they're like, I don't know what that means. Although I might have found a new vending partner last night. I gotta give him the information for the vending machines, comic book stores in Pittsburgh. But yeah, it's gonna get crazy real soon, because we have the Moonbug show coming later in the year, later in the summer maybe. I don't know what dates. We also have the children's book coming out, so I look for a lot of parents to kind of discover the brand a little bit. And of course their kids, their kids are going to discover VeeFriends too through the book. So we'll have a lot more kids and parents rolling in here. So we're kind of at this waiting stage where it's like, we know this is coming. It's going to bring a whole different set of people with different jobs in their life that they're getting done, whether they're just raising kids or maybe they need some support for encouragement. That's what we're all about, so it's perfect. But I think we're really just on the tip of the very beginning of VeeFriends in a lot of ways. Even though it's been around for a couple years now, as the NFTs and the trading cards, but as Eric, the creative director, Eric, who's awesome, by the way, Eric, awesome. said the other day, like, VeeFriends is so much more than just this or that. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we all feel behind the scenes. It's more than just a comic. It's more than just trading cards or a cartoon show. It's really like what it says it is. It's getting people to think about these different traits, be better in their own lives, be happier in their own life. In a weird way, it's kind of like self-discovery, or I don't want to say self-help, but in that vein. If you feel like alone out there, or the people around you don't get you, you're trying to do something and you're just getting pushed back, you're always going to find some encouragement and friends, good friends at the VeeFriends community. Good vibes. Good vibes only. We take the bad vibes and I just light bad vibes on fire. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm slouching again. You also get to learn, personal information about me on these streams, because I usually just talk about my personal life sometimes. Or like, if I start sneezing, I've got allergies, but because it's very human. Everybody's got, a lot of people have allergies. I don't even know what medicine I'm taking. It's some nasal spray. It's not Nasacort. It's like an anti-steroid thing, but it makes me tired, or like drowsy. Not tired, not sleepy tired, but definitely drowsy. So the other morning I took it first thing at like 5:30 in the morning, and I was really sleepy, and I'm like, man, I should just go back to bed. I'm like, no, it's the medicine. And on Sunday I was working on, maybe it wasn't Sunday, it was Saturday. Saturday I was finishing up the Sunday comic, because I don't know if you saw the Sunday comic. I really don't know if I could pull it up on here. Huh. I don't think I can. Let's not do that. I did something different with the Sunday comic this week. So if you go back to Instagram, or it should work on Instagram or on TikTok, I drew the whole Sunday comic as like a sliding. It should slide and like seamlessly slide across the panels. And it was, I've done something like this before, but to this extent it was kind of tricky. Anyways, as I was drawing this, I was sitting on my couch really early in the morning, and my eye just started like burning and itching, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I rubbed it and it got worse, and I'm like, I think I got allergies like crazy. I had to change the air filter on my house, get a different air filter. I'm like, something's really getting my eye. And then for like 2 days after, and it's better now, but my eye was like blurry. My right eye was blurry. And my wife was like, I think maybe you have a detached retina. And I'm like, no, no way. It doesn't hurt like that. It's like just itchy eyes. And it was causing some like, weird blurriness, because it was being so like irritated and watery. But so yeah, for Monday I was like, great. I wonder what I'd look like with an eye patch. That's what I was actually thinking when I was walking my dog. I'm like, I think I could do that. I think I could rock an eye. I don't want to, but I got 2 eyes. If something should happen and I lose one eye, I can keep drawing. That's how driven I am. I wouldn't be like, oh man, I lost an eye. Guess it's no more drawing for me. I'd be like, all right, guess we got to do this with one eye now. Let's go. Oh look, I was like slouching again. I gotta stop that. Can you see me? I'm like hunched down. Gotta sit up, man. Posture, brother. Guys, if you see me slouching on the stream, you gotta yell at me. Say, "What? Yo, DJ, sit up straight, bro. Let's go." I feel like it's that relaxed. You get relaxed, and then you just start to slouch and bend. So like I was saying earlier, we especially if you're over on Instagram, there's only 4 people on Instagram right now. What happens is that everybody like gets in on the morning and they're on their way to work or whatever, then they hop off, do their meetings or whatever they have to do, then they're back on social media. They're popping in and out. I can see what's going on. I know what's up. I got you. You don't have to stay for the whole stream. Pop in and say hello. Making comics live here, but I know what you're up to. It's fine. I won't judge you. I appreciate you popping in and watching and listening to me. And it's Wednesday, getting through it. I know some people out there have some pretty tedious jobs. I've had tedious jobs in the past too, where you were stuck in Excel sheets all day, or oh goodness, you need a little escape. It's okay. It's okay to have that little bit of escape in social media, using it for that. Just be careful. Be careful with social media, what you're consuming. You're never gonna go wrong consuming VeeFriends stuff. That's not just me pushing the brand at you, down your throat, but things like VeeFriends, try to like really train your social media. So like, maybe here's a mission for you today. If you find yourself doom scrolling, because we've had a couple people say that they stopped doom scrolling and then ended up in the stream and it's super chill, which I appreciate you saying that. Today, when you're on social media, if you see something that makes you feel bad, unfollow it. Don't block the person if it's a friend of yours. Just say like, I'd like to see less of this. Just start training it. Lean more into the things that you like to watch that make you feel good, because that's what you're trying to escape from, is like all the stuff you don't like. So if it's drama or something that's really pulling you into some kind of bad feeling, just kind of sit in that feeling for a second, like, oh, this is making me feel bad. Well, why am I getting stirred up about this? Like, it's bound to happen. Someone's gonna say link you, or you're gonna see some link to something and want to click it and be like, I can't believe this, and then you're stirred up a little bit. But if you start to feel that feeling, just kind of hit the unfollow button, or the hide this, or don't show me that, and then watch how your mood will change. When you log on, Gary will say like his feed is kittens and rainbows and stuff. I got a hard time believing that, because I'm sure he consumes so much stuff that I think it's probably so random. There's probably a lot of sports on there, I bet. But it's true though, because I know, and it works pretty fast on TikTok and on Instagram. As a if I start following other artists or watching their stuff, then whenever the next time I go on, even seconds later, the suggested feed is just other artists and like cool stuff. So, but you gotta watch your time too. If you got other stuff to do in your life, you can't just be zoning out on social media. That's what they want you to do. That's the whole game, is how long can we get them to stay on the app? So they got to keep serving you things that they think that you'll like. If they serve you something and you run away from it, other things like it they're not going to serve anymore. So when you're like, I don't like this makes me want to leave your program, it's like, to never show him anything about bananas again. This man hates bananas. Then you're probably never going to see bananas again. Something to keep in mind. I've trained mine pretty well. For people in comic books, it's a little weird because you're still going to get a lot of like girls and guys dancing around and stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Because in comic books, in the comic book world, we have cosplay, and it really mixes up. Like, oh, you want to see models? And I'm like, not really. Not really. But sometimes the nuance of what you want to look at is gone. You know, it's like, oh, this person must look at beautiful women then, or handsome dudes. Let's give him more handsome dudes look. No, like, I think I was looking at Pearl Jam stuff the other day, and I'm all for it. Like, I'm all for that. And I was listening to some Pearl Jam live performances, little clips from their new tour, and now my feed is mostly like Eddie Vedder hanging out with like Post Malone and stuff. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I'll consume this content. And then randomly it'll like test me to see like, do you want to see this girl dancing around at a Pearl Jam concert? No, I don't really. I don't even necessarily want to watch other people's art videos or anything like that, but I just liked supporting. I like my community of artists, so I talk to so many artists outside of here and outside of work, and I just see what's vibing, how people are feeling, you know, kind of support my art friends. Artists got to support each other in that way. And musician friends too. They've got like a small band or something like that. I try to like chime in on their stuff as much as I can. Just because, you know, if you're out there making something creative, it can kind of suck when you don't get any kind of feedback. So keep that in mind. Like, support your creative friends. If you have artist friends you know, or musician friends, even if you can't show up for their gigs, you could say like, hey man, I can't show up, but the music sounds great, you know, like, let them know that, you know, most of the time people that are posting on social media just want to be seen, you know, like, I exist. That's the core of it all. You comment or something because you think you might have something to say, but it's also like, I just want to be seen in this world where like everybody kind of feels invisible or like a number. Social media makes you feel seen. That's kind of my take on it. So why not lean into it? Like, if people are out there and they're putting themselves out there and they want to be seen, and you like seeing them, let them know, I like seeing you. I'm enjoying your posts. I like these comics. Thank you so much. Do it with the like button or share it with a friend or something, you know? And this isn't just me asking you to share the comics. I'm talking about in general. Sometimes people's social media can be a cry for help too, I guess, you know? Like, I see that a lot. But avoid the narcissist and things. Like, avoid that stuff. Now, something happened over on the stream there. What happened? About 10 o'clock we dropped out. Where did we drop from? Did we drop from X? Nope. Interesting. Check something real quick, guys. Seemed to happen before too. Got about this far in it. The stream died. Still live. All right. Something popped over on my program and it says that there's only one person watching right now, and I know that's not possible. I'm just gonna keep going because I gotta keep going anyways. Fun thinking about innovation. That's the biggest innovation that's happening right now is AI. See it everywhere. Everybody's scrambling to add it to their apps and things, but it's definitely not magical. Zen said, envisioning him eating Fruit Loops or Cheerio or some kind of O's, but you think it looks like puffed wheat now. I don't really know. It could be either or. I'm probably going to color it as a colorful cereal, though, like a Fruit Loops. I think. If I had to guess. That's what I'll do. How long have we been live for? We've been live for 1 hour 43 minutes. Check my chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, great. Alright, we're back now. Looks like something switched over on the live stream over there, but it's okay. What are you going to do? Technology. I didn't try to broadcast to Twitch today because it's been going black. Like a black screen, I guess. I tried to test it one day and I just couldn't. You know, these things are a little bit touchy sometimes. I don't have time for a lot of rabbit holes to fall into. So we got comics to draw. There's a great documentary if you're ever interested in. I forgot to tell the team this too. If you're ever interested in how my brain works to a certain degree, there's a documentary on Apple TV called Stripped. And it's about comic strip artists and webcomic artists and how we think. It's really good. It's got some of your classic favorite comic artists on there. Some of them have passed away now. Mort Walker and Beetle Bailey guy. And the Family Circus dude is gone now too. There's that was filmed in 2013, I think. So it's more than 10 years ago now. And it's funny because mostly it's about newspapers dying and how these print newspaper people were kind of, some of them are worried, but then there's this new age of webcomic people that were like, you don't need newspapers. And that's kind of like the web generation I came from. I was one of the first to put my art online, comics online. It just made sense to me. Put the comic online for free and then monetize with books or merch or whatever. But some of the old school people from print, of course, thought that this was bad. It's the same story over and over again. Musicians thought the same thing. Record labels hated Napster, Spotify. These things are all disruptive innovation. And right now, the biggest thing that's disrupting everything is AI. 1000%. Slouching again. Stop that. Is TikTok back? I'm gonna refresh the TikTok real quick just to refresh mine live. Looks like I'm back over there. I don't know. Says there's 546 people watching over on. Majority over on X. That's where most of the VeeFriends community, the existing community is on Twitter, X. But I just inked the same mouth. I didn't mean to do that. Same face. I forgot to change the face. We'll do that now. Face, different hand. I changed all the hands and stuff, but not what's going on with Billy's asking the innovative Impala here what he thinks. for watching over on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram, make sure you go like today's comic strip over on our VeeFriends page, our profile. Just click at VeeFriends. You can come back. Head over there, like the comic, today's comic, double tap that. Come back, check out today's comic. Hang around. I'm drawing in Procreate. A lot of questions for that. Today. Oops. Get that question a lot. Also, we're a little bit delayed on. A little bit of a delay on Instagram, so if I don't see your question right away, I'll get back to it. Otherwise, it's just a chill morning here. Drawing some comics. Make sure I check my schedule. Make sure I'm not missing anything else. I don't think so. I don't think so. So we'll just keep on going. Keep on trucking. Alright. Good. What about you guys? Are you out there? Do you use AI for anything? Are you using ChatGPT? You could be honest. Your bosses aren't watching. What are you using it for? Would you like AI? Trash? Or, you know, yay or nay? AI. Are you using it for anything? Always curious to see how people are using AI for anything. A lot of people, it's like taboo. It's such a taboo subject. And it says my connection is unstable. Let's try this. That's kind of the situation. Dog Mama said her boyfriend's son told her that he had AI write his book report on a book that he didn't actually read. So that's kind of the crux of this comic here that we're doing. Is like, you know, the kid at the end's like, can it do all my work for me? Just gonna turn on those other pencils. asked how I have a steady hand. Such a steady hand. And, I mean, I think it's just part of the training, I guess. The more you do it, the steadier you become. There's really no secret to it. It's just the more you do anything, the better you get at it. And I'm always looking for ways to innovate comics, really, by keeping the tradition, you know, like keeping it traditional, but like we're kind of doing that with this comic in a way. So if a comic gets 400 likes on Instagram, there's a good chance that it'll probably be made into an animation at some point, like the one that we had up. So if you're really loving one and you're like, I'd love to see this one as a different format, then like it up. Here we're getting to be, I'm trying to like do these little breaks occasionally. Where's my app? Right at the 2-hour mark almost. I saw one kid arguing, or like a college kid arguing, that if these tools exist and like your kid there that did his book report without it and he's proud of it, that he used this tool to like get by. It's kind of like cheating, you know? Like, okay, cool. Then we have to change the curriculum, because he's correct in saying like, this other kid was correct in saying, you know, the game has changed. We don't need to read a book. But how do you get them to retain the information? And why are you having them retain this information? So teaching them that part, like the deeper nuance of, why do you want to read? Well, it'll make you a better writer. It'll make you a better communicator the more that you read. And when I mean read, I don't mean read online. I mean like reading books and the magic of that. There's a magic to writing and reading and storytelling that they don't get in just typing a prompt in and going, here, read this for me, cool. Give me the cliff notes. Give me the small version. If I told you, like, tell me about Moby Dick or some classic literature, no kid really wants to read that. But how do we excite them to like go, yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if you could read that and then see like the life lessons from it that you take out compared to other people? I don't think AI can do that. Because you might read something a totally different way than someone else might read it. So that's an interesting point. There I am slouching again. Man, I'm doing that a lot. I'm gonna stop doing that. I should just full on use my standing desk and stand up. What am I gonna do? There's a speech balloon covering up most of her here, so I'm not really worried about this too much. I do need something going on here, but like I don't like that. Yeah, I worked from one of those remote offices yesterday in Pittsburgh called Alloy 26 or something like that. It was like just a rent-a-desk sort of situation. I usually prefer to be here in my studio, but was doing the drawing night down in Pittsburgh. My wife works really close by there, so we were like, let's just commute together. I'll do the WeWork sort of situation all day, and then we'll have dinner at this restaurant there where the meetup happens and go from there. It was a pretty good day. I think it kind of kept me a little focused. It's a little weird. Way less distractions at the WeWork, or not WeWork, or Alloy shared desk situation. Alright. Well, that's looking pretty cool. I've been going for 2 hours. Probably going to call this one a stream. Make sure you go today on Instagram, like this comic. This may or may not have been inspired by Gary and his dad. This is Barry. This is not Gary. This is Barry G and his dad at Cheese Planet. They have a galaxy of rare cheeses. Go over there and like this comic today, especially over on Instagram. Appreciate you watching. Any other questions? I'm going to cruise through here real fast. What does it say? I'm going to show you what the comic says. At least the top 2 panels. And you can tune in tomorrow to see how it ends up. Finally, kids need to learn the old way, and the mom's kind of like, now they can focus on real education without distractions or laziness. And he's making that noise like, what are you thinking of Native Impala? I'm not going to give away the full joke over there, but guidelines are important, but banning AI tools. Good amount of words there. But basically, the headlines on here will read like, can AI help global hunger, solve global hunger, a bunch of other things. And then the kid follows it up with, can you do my homework for me? And then Impala says something funny, but I want you to tune in to the comic tomorrow on our channels. Anything else? Hey, thank you. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. I'll be back here at 8:30. Oh, I don't like that brush. Let's do this. 8:30 EST AM. Let's do this. 8:30 AM EST on Friday. Same deal, and I'm going to open up this one last mini here to end the stream. Do that. I didn't open 5 of these today, but there's some of the other ones here. Let's open up the last mini of the stream here. See which one we're getting. A little tricky to get once you get the zipper thing. Then it opens up pretty easily. All right. Let's see what we got. We have a Emerald Decisive Duck. There. Check these out on VeeFriends.com. I will be at Collecticon Kansas City, June 22nd through the 23rd with the VeeFriends crew. I'll be doing Scribble Challenge at the booth, doing some drawing at the booth. Check out VeeFriends.com for everything that we got going on. VeeFriends. VCon tickets are now available too. I'll be at VCon as well. And explore the characters created by Gary V here. VeeFriends, over 280 characters. We got the trading card game, the minis, and of course, my little corner, comic corner here. If you click that, it will take you to, at some point, it'll take you to the comic archive. So you're able to read the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of comics there. So we've got a lot of comics and a lot more comics to draw. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye, TikTok. So long. Goodbye, everyone else. We'll see you on Friday. Appreciate you watching.